ice cream. Coffee in your mug, charts glued to your eyes. Still calling out those bangers like a birthday surprise. Happy birthday, Washboardjim. Stacking years like you stack them wins. It's 65, a special day, let's begin. Here's to you, the Sneaky Snake King. Happy birthday, Washboardjim. May your wins keep rolling in. Asking ourselves how to do it again. That's the work of the Sneaky Snake King. Taking profit before the chart turns red. Growing your account, Nancy waiting in your bed. The setup is there as you head her way. Forget that bitch, there's another trade to play. Back at your screen as the night falls. Get ready, the 200 birthday Washboardjim. Stacking years like you stack them wins. It's 65.
Kill this week, yeah.
Here's to you,
We can do it.
the Sneaky Snake.
Snake King.
Happy
birthday, Washboardjim.
May your wins keep rolling in. Knows how to do it again. That's the work of the Sneaky
Snake King. Yeah.
Life's our only chart that we wanna never end. So we cherish all the moments we have with our
Happy birthday, Washboardjim.
the one and only
Sneaky Snake Trade. Good morning, retail traders. My name's Washboardjim. I'm the founder of the Sneaky Snake Trading Strategy, where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. And let's have us a good week. We got earnings coming out, and I think it's going to be a big week for earnings. So let's see if we can get more in here. If not, I'm going to go ahead, and I got this recorded so you can go ahead and watch it later. So again, my name's Washboardjim. I'm the founder of the Sneaky Snake Trading Strategy, where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages. Oh, let me start this over again. One more time. Now we're going to record it so that I'll have it recorded also. I'm recording it live, but I'm going to also record it in a different segment. Hello, my name's Washboardjim. I'm the founder of the Sneaky Snake Trading Strategy, where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. And we have a big week coming up this week, and I think we all should pay real attention to it. Now, there's a lot of, I think there's a civil war between the retail traders and the fat cats on Wall Street, the institutional traders. They keep coming up, they want to bring this market down. They've tried everything in their possibility of doing it. Now they keep repeating that CapEx deal. CapEx this, CapEx that. They're bound determined in their heart not to make this stock market break out anymore because they're concerned about the CapEx. I think they're idiots. I want them to spend as much CapEx as they can. I'm sick and tired of Wall Street, the fat cats, the institutional traders begging government for money when the businesses alone can spit it out themselves. So that's where I differ from the fat cats on Wall Street, the institutional traders. I don't think like they do. So, CapEx this, CapEx that. I'm so sick of it. If it wasn't tariffs, if it ain't the war, if it's not inflation, we don't have no inflation. They just keep on trying to bring this market down as best as they can. And they're doing it on purpose so they can get in at a better price, which they already missed out on. So today I'm going to be using the standard deviation channel on all my time on this whole watch list, and then I'm going to be drawing trend lines out and stuff like that. Now I've had this Sophie charted out at support and we pulled back and then we hit that first standard deviation channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up my watch list and we're going to start fresh. Now these are all on the weekly time frame, volume high. So definitely Sophie was the volume leader on my watch list last week. And we hit that first, we've been riding that first standard deviation for almost, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 months now. So it's probably due for a breakout. Now, we did bounce off the 200 SMA, and it could have a knife on earnings and hit that 200 SMA for a solid buy. But I'm going to call low support for a triple bottom down here. And we more or less hit the triple bottom on that standard deviation. So let's see if we can keep the 16. Let me see what else is going on here. Okay, yeah, I got a friend message me. She kind of needs help. So we'll talk to her in a second. So, off subject, but now solid support is going to be this here lowest candle right here. Yeah. Let me get her off here so I won't have to. I'll talk to her in a second. So our lowest support. Slippage. We got a big watch list. We got earnings. I mean, this earnings week is going to be real huge. $15.19 for the lowest possible support this week. And that'll stay bullish, and I'll keep it up to that 63 EMA. Now, I use chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. So the triple bottom's a chart pattern. The moving average will be the 63 EMA to break on the weekly time frame. Now, I've been trading this stock in a channel right here. This is set up for an ascending triangle. This is called an ascending triangle. Well, no, it ain't either. It's a symmetrical flag. It could be an ascending triangle. It can be an ascending triangle because we got that wick. But I use the bodies. I'd almost consider it a bullish pattern. That maybe this week we could break out of that 1886 area on that triple top. And then we've got confirmation. So let's go ahead and put a resistance to break alert set here. Mark at or above, and I'm going to type resistance to break. This shows up on my message. And then support no lower than that 15.19 area. And this will come up when my alert triggers, and I'll be able to get that. I have a little message board that spits out these alerts. So Intel, the next one will be Ford. Ford had 76 million in volume on Friday. Standard deviation channel. Let's clean this up. Ford had a recall, and I was surprised, and it did pull back on that recall, and it got a head and shoulders right now, so it should pull back. I'm going to set me an alert right here at 1313. We're right on the bottom of this here candle. 1334, and raise it up just a little bit. I'm using the body, so I'll raise that alert up just a little bit. I don't trade Ford much. I did when it was cheap at $1 during the Obama crisis. So double bottom on Ford for an alert. And that's called a head and shoulders. So anytime you create a head and shoulders, you get some kind of resistance, pull back, and then a breakout on that second shoulder. So if this thing pulls back, have it retrace this resistance level right here at 1440. $14.39. And if that breaks out, we'll hit it up here around $15.55 for resistance to get out of the trade. Support, low support, $14.39 alerted. We have a gap in the bodies of these candles, so that should hold. That should hold. Next one's JetBlue. Now fuel prices are up, fuel costs are up, so are frickin' airfares. They've not been cheap. We have 3 black crows. We got to break the 200 at 694 for resistance. On the weekly, I'll just type RES in there. And support is going to be no lower than 430. Actually, let's do this head and shoulders right here. Right around 473. Where am I? Type in head and shoulders. On weekly. So here's your left shoulder, your head, and your right shoulder. And we've came down and tested that for about a month and a half. So if that thing pulls back, I think that'd be a good place to start your trade. But it can, depends on the drama. Like I said, gasoline prices are up. Apple, big week. We had a big 3 white soldier run on Apple. If anybody knows how to trade with Washboardjim, you know that 3 white soldiers is an area of consolidation and to get out of the trade and buy the dip. So the previous high will now become support. We'll take this off. I'm going to go ahead and draw a price line on the body of that candle right there and put my alert right above this here body of that candle. This is on the weekly. I'm just using the standard deviation channel as we pulled back to the pivot point here and below. So I got my alert set. This should be a real strong buy at 316.76. Now, Apple's on fire right now. It's had its years where it wasn't worth a crap. Now it's really starting to, in this bull market, it's really starting to run. But 3 years ago, the average price was around 133. Now it's 4 years ago. Now it's kind of moved up over 100% in 3 years. But if you keep with the standard deviation, go long. If we get a dip and we start to become a bull market and there's some kind of peace in the Middle East, which I think it's going to take a little bit of time to really stabilize Iran. Fuck them. I want them gone. The regime. I want it to be like it was 47 years ago. They could be one of the richest countries in the Middle East, but instead they build bombs. No. And thank you, Obama and Biden, for helping them with the money to build some of them bombs. 3 white soldiers consolidate off that third soldier. 316.76 alert set on Apple. Apple's going to be the big one this week. You got to really pay attention to Apple. Amazon, we got some good ones this week. We got some real good ones. I'm serious. This is the biggest week, I think. So let's clear this out. I'm going to be just doing earnings all week long. Clear. This is at a buy signal, Amazon. We're at the 63. I think we're going to go ahead and break on out. Where are we first? 232. Yeah, we're definitely at support. We're definitely at support. I'm real positive about this. No lower than 220 for a strong buy. I'll create my alert right at 240, 220.50. I'm just using one time frame. I might go down here and use 2 on this one, or maybe 3, because I think Amazon is going to be key also. It's at a good spot right now of support, where the other ones were kind of in between. So we're going to go to the yearly. We're definitely below the 200 on the yearly. So we'll set another alert on this first standard deviation and try to get a double bottom. And I'll type in first standard, then I'll know exactly what I'm talking about. For a strong buy to go long. We got a gap, double bottom, inverse head and shoulders. We got to break the 200 to run this back up to 245. We got a head and shoulders right here, resistance line. So I'll put my resistance right around 240. There are a lot of good earnings. You know, this might be an extra long video. Let me see if there's anybody in here. Now we got 2 watching. Well, I'm really floating big time. So Amazon, I think we need to keep it on watch. Let's go to the 1 hour. Oh yeah, I'll be looking into this one. This was $2.58. It's down $27 in a week and a half. We got a wedge. We got a fallen wedge right now, but if it comes down and hits this, we'll have a triple bottom. Actually, head and shoulders, or a triple bottom. And that's right at that alert, where I set that alert. So possible reversal to the upside to find some resistance at 235. And if that breaks, we'll bust past the 50 SMA. That's your hard resistance. Right now we're bearish under the 9. So on the 1 hour time frame, if this thing starts creeping above the 9 and breaks the 21 EMA, you'll have a good shot at hitting that 50 SMA to get out of the trade at 235. That's Amazon. Microsoft, I will not trade. I won't trade this pervert. But that doesn't mean you can't trade it. But it's not on my trade list. I mean, I think it sucks. Just because of the CEO. So we're definitely at the second standard deviation on the 1 hour. So let's go to the weekly. I called the pullback on this once I found out about this pervert, and we've had nothing but drama ever since. Bill Gates. and we're definitely at support at the second standard deviation. We're bearish under the 200. So if it breaks the 200 SMA at 389 and gains respect, it starts to become bullish. 390. So that's your pivot point on the weekly. And then on the year, we're definitely at a good spot, but I will not trade it. You can. If I ever see this guy in person, I'm going to call him a punk. Boy, this would be a strong buy at 352. Double bottom. Real strong buy. Now, I've let bias get in my way before, and I've missed out on a couple trades, but I've also let my bias get in the way and buy puts and make a ton of money, especially during wokeism. Shorting Budweiser, shorting Target, shorting Nike. What else did I short? BlackRock. And there's a couple others. I'm just going to pull up Nike because I haven't looked at it in a long time. I mean, Nike's at 40 freaking bucks. All because they wanted to make bras for men. Okay. So the last one we looked at was Microsoft. We got Rivian. Now, Rivian is in the EV car sector, and that's not being pumped as much as it was under Biden, where he threw billions of dollars in Rivian right before he left office, after he was already canceled out as president. I thought it was a crooked move to throw $8 billion in a failed company. Wall Street loves this company. This is their number one pump. They can't stand Tesla, which makes no sense. So they put all their power into a company that is worthless. I don't think like they do. So, like I said, this is an institutional strong buy, and we've had nothing but solid support on this trend line right down here of an inverse head and shoulders, and we are definitely at support right now. We're definitely at support. I probably won't trade this stock, but it is looking good here. We're definitely at a solid support off the 50 SMA and the 63 EMA on the weekly time frame. We're below the 200, so if it buries itself above the 200, right around 1628, this stock could break out to this head and shoulders. What am I doing here? What'd I say? 1628. Yeah, could be a little higher. Yeah, 1654. Yeah, right there. I'm going to call that an ascending triangle breakout. No, I'm just going to call it a breakout. It's a solid support right here at 1541. If that holds, we stay bullish. And resistance to break will be the standard deviation of 1757. That's Rivian. I'm not even a quarter way through this. We got Hood. I trade Hood. I bought it down here at the bottom of this. This is a lesson. The previous high now becomes support. I call this the yin yang. This is the yin yang where resistance, what was resistance, now becomes support. This is also a double top breakout on the weekly time frame. So you got your chart pattern, which is a double top, and then you also got your pullback to the previous double top. So you got an inverse head and shoulders off the first standard deviation channel. This is Hood. So you want to set your alert above that first standard deviation. I'll set this link in the content of this chart if you have TOS after I'm done with the video, and it'll be recorded, so it'll be on that one. But I'll go ahead and share this chart with you. This is called a two-line standard deviation. You got your one standard deviation and then your two. And you can Google that on here and do it your own self. So that's that. Hood. Hood is got to break resistance of the pivot point on the standard deviation, which will be that double triple top right there, and we go ahead and put that in as a point of resistance to break. And when that comes up, I'll see that. Next one is CMG Chipotle. Chipotle is the worst food I've ever ate my whole entire life. I walked in there and I said, I've never ate here before. I'd like to have your best burrito. She went ahead and gave it to me for free. I ate it. The thing was about as big as a 20-foot rattlesnake. And it's nasty. It felt like I was drinking shit. I'll never eat a Chipotle. Never. Well, I got this 2770 something on it, but I'm one more black crow, a triple bottom, can get you in this trade. I'm going to raise this alert up. I'm going to raise it up. I'm going to raise it up to this shoulder line, straight across head and shoulders, and see if that reverses on up and hits a triple top here. That's a good hard resistance right there. XOM, oil prices, gas been up. We had 3 white soldiers the past 3 weeks. We're at resistance of a head and shoulders. So this should consolidate back down to this here 145 area and be a strong buy. We got a triple top. We got a head and shoulders. Someone asked me this weekend that they're going to learn how to, I did a video, and I said, learn it now. Learn these chart patterns. See, that's right shoulder line. It's either going to break out or it's going to pull back. It's at that point called the sweet spot. So that's called a head and shoulders. When you hit the first right shoulder, it usually pulls back, and then it retests. And last 3 weeks have been very strong. We could get a little pullback to 150, 179 come tomorrow. Earnings this week, you've got to look them up yourself. I'm not going to take the time and do that. When's earnings for XOM, or I think it's Friday. We got Coca-Cola. Now, I don't trade Coke because I don't drink Coke. I've never drunk, I haven't drunk a soda pop in probably 5 years. Last time I took a sip of it, I spit it out. I don't want that shit eating up my stomach. So we bounced off the 21, 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 21, 21. We're going to set that alert right off the 21. History repeats itself when trading moving averages. So 79.85. Meta, another big one this week. CapEx, 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 CapEx. That's all these frickin' fat cats have been saying. And I think they're idiots. I really think they're off on this one. We're not even at the third inning of AI. They're way ahead of themselves. They know that. They want this market to pull back so they can buy the dip. I'm very bullish. I've never been so bullish in my life since I've been trading this market for 22 years. I mean, at the highest point of bullishness that I could ever be. So we've got a triple bottom. We've got an inverse head and shoulders. We got a solid support right down in here. Now this is Meta. I'm really bullish on Meta. So we're going to do this. We're going to go in different time frames. This will be a trade I'll take this week. But like I said, I'm fed up with the fat cats. They tried everything to bring this market down. Interest rate hikes, they've tried that for months. They tried the Buffett theory for months. 2 years they've been trying to take this market down. They tried the tariffs for months, the war for months, $200 a barrel oil for months. They've tried everything in their power. Now it's CapEx, CapEx. Every time we get a breakout, they bring up CapEx this, CapEx that. I've been at it for 22 years. I've never seen anything so deviant in my life. That looks like a solid support. Definitely. So I'm liking where this is set up right now. Definitely a strong buy down here at 564. But this is what they used as an excuse to bring down Meta. And it has powerful earnings. You got to spend that money sometime, right? You don't want the government forking it out and you paying for your tax money. Let these companies pay for it. This is where I'm so different of these fat cats on Wall Street. 564.92 for a strong buy. And then the triple top, which would be the quad. If you count to 3, you can trade with me. And if you count to 4, you might end up making a little bit more. So we're going to set an alert at that resistance. Definitely a strong buy. This week, we're definitely at a solid spot. If it goes down any further to like 566, I'm going long for a swing. QCOM. We're at the 200 SMA. Here's a solid support. We see where we hit resistance at the 200 right here with a double top. Then we had the breakout. 200, 200, 200, 200, 200. We need to gain respect above the 200 before QCOM becomes bullish. If it breaks 170 and respects it, go long. Breaks 170, respects, go long. Very good setup. Real good setup. Real good setup. So right now we're below that head and shoulders. So we could get a double bottom. Send alert just a little bit above that double bottom. And we're there. I mean, this thing getting ready to squeeze back to the upside and hit the 200. Watch QCOM Monday. When's QCOM earnings coming out? I thought I had to. Where's that? Where in the frick's my earnings? I don't even have my earnings up. QCOM earnings coming out on the 29th. Wall Street analysts expect earnings per share about 140 to 155, revenue near 9.67 billion. Reported 265, beating the estimate of 255. Total revenue of 10.6 billion. Grew 38% year over year. Revenue rose 9%. I mean, they're doing everything they can to bring this market down on great earnings. So yeah, QCOM's definitely on our watch list. Put it on top. CVX. We're at the pivot point of that standard deviation channel. Support at 188.06. Off the 200 on, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Definitely if I was trading this thing, it'd be that on an hour. Oh yeah, this thing's had too big of a run already. Go back to that go to that body right there on that candle, on that second soldier. Set your alert. Those are 3 white soldiers. It'll consolidate. Be a strong buy at that level. I'm going to type in second soldier. And I'll know. Procter & Gamble, PG, I don't trade pharmaceutical much. I'm a tech guy. They're too volatile. We got a head and shoulders, and we got a bear flag. No, a symmetrical flag. No, it's an ascending triangle. A little bit going up a little bit. You inside of this pattern, it's got a head and shoulders is what you got. Where's that at? Head and shoulder, left shoulder, right shoulder, right shoulder. Then you got a triple bottom with a quad. So if you can count to 4, I'd go long in this one at that alert. 142.23. To go long, quad bottom. On weekly, quad, not quat. I'm surprised I didn't write twat. Quad bottom on weekly for a strong buy. Now we're going to take this to the yearly. And you've got a support right here to stay bullish. That's that double bottom, triple bottom with a wick to stay bullish. So if it comes down and retests, it's at a good spot. It's above the pivot point of the standard deviation. Tilray, this one had a big split and run up. And you've seen what happens to it. Earnings coming out. Now I traded this sector at one time, but we're going to skip on by it. O'Reilly, when times are tough. Is this O'Reilly? Man, this thing's cheap. What's up with that? Oh shit, this could be a good long buy. I know a guy that became a millionaire and retired on O'Reilly. That's all he invested in his whole entire life. I mean, look what he made. He made a lot of money on O'Reilly. He bought 10,000 shares at a very cheap price. And we had an inverted hammer. That's on the yearly candlestick. Monthly, definitely at the standard deviation for a strong buy at 81.43. This is the monthly time frame. So I'm going to type in monthly pivot point. Monthly pivot point for strong buy. O'Reilly. STX has been on a frickin' outrage. Way overbought. Way overbought. Way overbought. I have to set the alarm. Way overbought. We want to get this trade at $690, $700. Come on. $700. Type in monthly support. You ever pulled up and looked at the monthly? Have you ever pulled up and looked at the yearly candlesticks? I want to show you something. A trick. You promise you won't tell nobody. Make a promise. Everybody promise? So these are yearly candlesticks. 2 white soldiers, consolidation. 3 white soldiers, consolidation. 2 white soldiers, consolidation. 3 white soldiers, consolidation. Trump, Biden, 4 white soldiers. First time Biden printed $14 trillion over budget, which caused high inflation. But Wall Street loved it. Biden played into Wall Street's hands. They got made trillions of dollars under his watch. Billions. Because he printed so much money. Let that sink in. And it cost you 20 to 30% inflation. 9.1 on the books, but that is not correct. I got receipts. Let's just put it that way. A piece of crap. 786.19 long, and we're at, let me see, 862. 682 for solid support. If you're looking at for a strong buy to go long. That's on the yearly candlestick. So that's the little trick that I wanted to show you. Let's go back to the stocks. CVX, PG, Tilray, O'Reilly, STX, and Rob Blocks. Rob Blocks is almost pulling back to that support channel. I've traded this one here before. So we'll go back to the weekly. We're under the 200 SMA, so the 54.73 has to break. Resistance to break to become bullish. Then once it breaks, it pulls back to that support level and then takes off. It's called retest. So this is the 200 SMA resistance to break. And this will show up on my alert. With a strong buy at the triple bottom at 41.79. Triple bottom. Then we'll go to the yearly. This is that knife started to break out, pull back, triple bottom, back up, breaks the 200. So if this thing comes down here, well, I'm going to raise that alert up just a little bit above the body of them candles. I think I'm cheating myself there. We'll put it right there on that body right there. Then I'll put a price line right here. So that'll alert me 4444 before we hit the triple bottom, because it could bounce right there and then break the 21. So you understand about the moving average. This is on the weekly, and then we got a triple bottom, which is the chart pattern. So you want to respect that 21 and then run it up here to the 63 for an inverse head and for a head and shoulders at $71.44. Verizon, they tried to rip me off last month with a late bill. I called up to pay my bill, and their things was down. They said call back next day, and well, that day it was a day late. So they billed me for a late fee, and I called them up, and they said, we're going to waive that. So you're paying your damn late fee. People nuts. So I'm just going to say resistance to break would be the head and shoulders because we tapped it once. A little bit lower, 360, 370. This should come up and break to a double top. It's at resistance, or be a strong buy off the 9 on the weekly. 9 EMA. Weekly 9 EMA. See, I'm setting myself up for next week. Now I'll come back and I'll go through my own video and look at what I called out. And I'm doing this a little bit different than I usually do all my other earnings list. I wanted to work off the standard deviation and just use the weekly time frame and see how that works out this coming week as a case study. UPS next. We got the standard deviation on the weekly, long to 135 at the 200 SMA for a swing. Long, L-O-N. And support 109.36. I'm at 109.61. Off the 9. I'll just leave it like it is. Snake, breakout, pulled back, inverse head and shoulders, called that out. Run up and hit a head and shoulders, pulled back to the right shoulder the second time. Now we're at a double top. So resistance to break will be that candle right here. Next, Boeing. Boeing's had a good pullback. We got a triple bottom. We got an inverse head and shoulders. Set your alert above that shoulder line. We got a gap. We got an inverse head and shoulders with a two-headed snake right at the 200. So set your alert right above that trend line from this right here. Actually, what is it? Yeah. Body, body, wick, wick. Strong buy. Off inverse head and shoulders. left shoulder, right shoulder, right shoulder, right shoulder. Strong buy, very strong buy off the 200, very strong buy. Watch Boeing this week. Put it on top of your watch list. Back to 220. I called this out last dip. Yeah, that's a real good one to watch this week. We got Reddick. This was one of my top Mimi stocks when it first came out. And we came back and hit the gap support that I called out in this trade, and I swung it to the 63. Now we're at the first standard deviation and pulled back to the 63. So this could be a solid buy. If not, solid buy at 156.54. Off the first standard deviation. And then resistance to break will be 198.19. It's a pretty good setup. We've had about 5 or 6 real good setups. MA, MasterCard. We had a triple bottom. We got a double top. Pull back to the 63 EMA at 526.43. $63 EMA on weekly support. I started using the 63 EMA about a year and a half ago, and my accuracy went up at least 20%. Just using that one moving average. 63, 63, 63, 63, 63, 63. You get where I'm coming from? Cake. Time to pull back. Too much icing on this cake. I see it coming back to 66.39. Right at the pivot point. You can't have your cake and ice cream at the same time. Humana. We've got a double top resistance. Pull back to the 200 off the 9 on the weekly. Nine EMA on the weekly. And then I called this trade out down here. Yeah, it's going to pull back to the 9, probably for a scalp and a day trade, but not a swing. Swing would be down here at the previous resistance, right at the 21. Okay, time for a song. And then we're going to see if we can do anything else.
Ready. Oh wow, oh wow. the charts till the night is gone. Patterns dance like a wild old song. Breakouts rip and dips of gold. He's got the secrets the wise ones hold. 3 black holes in the morning light. Bull flags waving like they're gonna take flight.
Washboardjim.
Yeah, he knew it. All right.
How does he do it?
How does he do it? Moving averages, they paint the tail. Up and down like a ship in gale. Catching the wind, he sets the sail. Green candles climb, the bears retreat. Jim's got rhythm, the markets beat. 3 black holes in the morning light. Bull flags waving like they're gonna take flight. Washboardjim, yeah, he knew it. All right.
How does he do it?
How does he do it?
Right. So we've got to make sure. Thank you, Seamus. We got to make sure that we pay attention to the news this week. We want to make sure that we pay close attention to what's going on in Iran this week. We don't want to listen to a lot of crap from the institutional traders. Learn more about charting. Earnings don't matter. Charts always do. And this is an exceptional long video right now, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. And it will be recorded, so you can go back and share it with your friends. Or always subscribe, ring that bell, and I've got 22 years experience, mostly trading with women, but I've been on my own here for the last 3 or 4 years. Just be, once this solution, or I've been through many wars in Wall Street since I started trading. I've been through a lot of crashes, a lot worse than what we're seeing right now. This is nothing. This is nothing. I've seen days a whole lot worse. So you just got to keep a positive mind. Offset, don't come in here with a bad attitude or something. If you're having a bad day, I had one of them last week and I shouldn't have traded. Next day, I came in as sharp as an axe and I knocked them out, one right after another. So it's all about mindset. Cut out all the trash and collect all the stash. And I'll catch you all later. Again, my name's Washboardjim. I am definitely the founder of the Sneaky Snake Trading Strategy, where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now.